Hey there, it's 39-minute workout with David, and today we are talking about pain and should you work through pain. This is such an important lesson for everybody who has ever dealt with physical pain before, or who comes and faces it as they start a fitness routine. And I'm going to probably say some stuff different to you today than you've thought or heard from most of the experts out there. My goal today is really to perturb your thinking around physical pain so that you have a more effective, healthier relationship with it, okay? Giving up on fitness because of pain is one of the most rampant problems and primary reasons why people quit. The top 3 reasons people don't take care of their health is money, time, and pain. I addressed money and time a little bit last week in my talks on the 3 pillars of health: treatment, training, and nutrition. But today, I really want to take pain to task, because I think for me, and what I've seen in the 8 years of working with clients through kettlebells, online and locally, is that pain puts people into a serious place of fear. They go to other health practitioners and get really mediocre advice, and then they too often, people choose to throw the baby out with the bathwater and give up. And there's a very common phrase that I just take issue with, and that is, if it hurts, don't do it. If it hurts, don't do it is the stupidest, most basic, poorly thought out advice on pain, and yet it is as widespread as any advice on exercise. It's terrible advice. It's incredibly overly simplistic, and I'm going to tell you why I never want you to say, well, it hurts, I better not do it. That's like saying, if you got your heart broken, I don't want you to try relationships anymore. Have you had a bad week at work, or you had a bad job, I think you should not work anymore. It is as stupid as that. So what do we do when we get our heart broken? We learn from it. We glean lessons. We find out who we don't mesh with, what we could have done differently. Pain's the same thing. Emotional pain, physical pain, it's the same thing. So there is only one reason I see that you should not train anymore, exercise, when I say train, if you have pain, and that is if you can answer this one question: if I work out more, will I do further physical harm to myself and create any sort of lasting injury? Okay? Now, I am today talking about my philosophy around fitness, wellness, health. I just do want to give the caveat to cover my ass and say, wherever you are listening to this, if you have physical pain, you do need a practitioner. If it's something that, I don't mean like, oh, my shoulder hurts, but I mean, if you're like, my low back hurts, I have radiating pain down my leg, you need to get stuff like that checked out legitimately. I'm going to perturb your thinking around it, but I'm not your doctor. I'm not making a recommendation to you in your specific situation, but I am going to put into question some very simplistic advice and tell you that one of my greatest frustrations as a personal trainer and an acupuncturist — I've been doing acupuncture since 2005, and I see it rampant in my community of other acupuncturists, giving out really crappy, half-baked advice on fitness and the body, often from people who really don't understand fitness and the body. And I will even, sorry to ruffle feathers, put a lot of doctors into that category. My experience of too many doctors is they know about as much about the body and fitness as they do about nutrition, and that is not a hell of a lot. Now, it really depends on what kind of doctor you see, but I see doctors very quickly giving very quick advice without evaluating your body, without asking questions about what happened, what are other issues, what else is going on here, what's causing it, how do you, right? Without asking the right kind of questions, saying, take a month off of exercise. Don't do that exercise program anymore. Just very quick, curt, uninformed decision making. In my opinion, if you aren't physically evaluated, if somebody doesn't look at what the pain is, ask questions about the quality of it, where do you feel it, how bad is it, what is it, what's making it worse, but what's making it better, how do we modify it? If they're not asking those questions, they probably aren't really qualified to answer it, even if they have the letters MD after it, because it's being MDs, doctors, chiropractors, PTs, a lot of them are giving this kind of advice. If it hurts, don't do it. I want you to seek out a better practitioner, a doctor, a chiropractor, a PT who seems to understand the body and goes deeper into that, okay? Very important that they're asking the right questions, evaluating how you move, evaluating where your weakness is, where your tightness is, what's causing this. Like, that's when you know you got the right fit. And the reality is there are great chiropractors, PTs, doctors, and acupuncturists out there who will do the job and understand the body and exercise. That's what I want you to seek if you want a practitioner. So, like I said, should you work, if it hurts, don't do it is only true if you're going to do further serious harm to your body. Like, I have a slipped disc, and the doctor says if I continue to do load-bearing exercise, I will quite possibly slip this worse and create a massive problem. Absolutely, you need to listen to that advice. If you have that proof on, MRI, listen to that advice. Don't, heed that advice. But if you're like, oh, I have a chronic soreness here, and tension up in here, and the advice is take a month off, my opinion is that's a load of crap. Take a month off. What is that? The problem with if it hurts, don't fix it. Number one is when you don't work out, two things happen, and neither of them are good. You get weak and you get tight. We don't get looser when we don't work out. We get rigid, especially in our joints, especially in our spine, hips, and our shoulders. When you sit on your ass, which is what you're doing when you're not working out, and you don't exercise with full body strength training, you are getting less limber, more rigid, and weaker. Weak and tight is the most dangerous combo. So just to give out information to say, oh, your neck hurts, don't exercise. Well, what we've done is we've taken away the stimulus that's showing there's a problem. Oh, I lift weights. This says it's a problem. Stimulus, boom, pain. Well, if I stop doing the exercise, I now no longer have the problem. But did I fix the problem? Hell no. I didn't fix the problem. I just took away the stimulus that showed me I have an issue that's showing up here. I believe you have a hell of a lot of wisdom in your body, and your body's saying, hey, pay attention to something here. But if the only thing you glean from it is, well, I shouldn't work out, I think we're not looking deeply enough. So taking time off, if it just makes you weak and tight, doesn't actually fix the problem there, which probably, I'm going to lunge forward, probably is you're too tight in your upper back, your thoracic spine. You're too weak in your shoulder girdle, meaning all the muscles in a circle sort of around the shoulder that stabilize the shoulder and keep it in place. So you're too weak in the shoulder, you're too tight in your thoracic, and it's showing up as pain here. All right? Well, let's fix your thoracic and fix your shoulder weakness with the right exercises. Bam, now we have a treatment plan. Now a good PT or a good personal trainer will be able to do such a thing. And some good chiropractors. So that's what you want to be doing. Address the pain. Where's the problem? How do we fix it? Great. But if we sit on our butt and we just don't work out, we just take time off, maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. Where I find that it helps is if somebody has severe inflammation, really something is swollen, inflamed to the point of creating chronic acute pain. That's often a time where we do need some back off. I still, though, most of the time I work with clients and they have some sort of flare-up, we work around that problem. Because to me, why would we want to sacrifice the whole for the sake of the one? So if I have a flare-up of my shoulder, should I go sit on my butt for 4 weeks and let all of my body suffer? So I'm not sweating, I'm not pumping my heart, my mood is worse, I'm not craving as good of foods because I'm not exercising, my legs are getting weaker, my core is getting weaker, my spine's getting tight. Do I want to sacrifice all of that because my shoulder hurts? No, I want to work around it. I can say, hey, I want to go, what the questions you want to ask yourself is, what can I do that doesn't aggravate this right now? Well, I can still do squats, I can still do kettlebell swings, I can still do core, I can still do some calisthenics. These calisthenics seem to feel good. These don't work. Cool. Now I've created a treatment plan around that where I'm still taking care of the whole, but I'm resting the part. And probably a good idea during that is have a practitioner. I'm a huge fan of everybody having a practitioner they love. When I flared up an injury from my teens 4 years ago, I made a connection and a friendship with a PT locally who is awesome. And he immediately identified the problem. 4 to 6 weeks of therapy, we got it right. As soon as I could, I was working everything else around my body that I could, because my mood, because my eating, because everything else needs me to exercise, you too, that I was able to address this while working on everything else, okay? So see, that's really, to me, if it hurts, don't do it. It's like, well, no. If it hurts, modify. If it hurts, learn from it. If it hurts, treat it. So searching for a practitioner that can help assist you, preferably one that knows the body well enough to give good advice, meaning how do we work around this, modify it, continue to keep your whole body strong and healthy while we work on that one issue. And if that good practitioner says, I think you need 4 weeks of not working out, but I want you to do this and this instead, absolutely cool. There is a time and a place where that is absolutely the best course of the treatment plan. But that's an informed decision, not I asked 2 questions, you said it hurt here, I just said, hey, don't work out. That's an uninformed answer, okay? One piece of mindset I want you to focus on is having a realistic mindset. And this is something I see with clients who come to me and they've had, let's say, 20 years of back pain. If you come to me to exercise and you do kettlebells and you say, I've had 20 years of back pain, the one important mindset piece you have to understand is that from here to here, which is right here is where you currently are. You're maybe it's 20 pounds overweight. You haven't worked out in 10 years. Your back hurts every day and you don't sleep well. Here is your back is a 2 out of 10. Sometimes you notice it. It doesn't really bug you. You feel much stronger. You move better and you've lost 20 pounds. Okay? From here to here, there's going to be bad days along the way. There's going to be days where you feel that problem. That doesn't mean exercise is wrong for you. That doesn't even mean the program you're doing right now is wrong for you. It isn't wrong for you if you are working on learning how to make that program right for you. Now, I'm not going to say every exercise is right for everybody. It's not. It's not. So the most important piece, if you have suffered from years of chronic pain, like your neck has bugged you for 10 years, is that there's going to be bumps along the road and you want to set your mindset up realistically so you accept that just because I feel that pain doesn't mean I'm creating further damage. And part of that, again, is having a practitioner on your team, right, on your support team, to help you along the way so that you're still treating it and working on it as you're improving your health. And you might say, well, I don't have time for all this. If you want to be stronger and healthier and more fit, I would suggest you create time for this. You know, I've seen an acupuncturist myself personally since 2001, basically every week to every month. I've seen a chiropractor or a PT every once in a while when I have flare-ups of stuff. I've never shied away from exercise because I've had these flare-ups, and I had injuries, 2 injuries to me in my teens through sports that I've dealt with on and off throughout my life. That's the reality of having chronic pain, is that your goal is to get better and more functional with it and never be scared of it to the point where you just say, oh, I shouldn't exercise. Because in my opinion, and hopefully yours, that isn't the right answer ever. It really isn't. And we never want to say, well, I'll just walk because at least I'm walking. Well, a lot of people say this, well, I'm in pain, so I don't lift weights because weights are dangerous, right? Which, no. But weights are dangerous if you have weakness and tightness and all that jazz, and we don't address that correctly. But walking is good, I will agree, but so is saving $1 a day. Well, saving $100 a day is a lot better. So walking's great, but strength training and walking is really great. Great combo, because now we're addressing building your metabolism so you burn fat better. We are improving the health and function of your whole body. We are maintaining good muscle and bone mass for health throughout your life. We're maintaining balance so you don't make falls as you get older, and right? So a full program is some calisthenics, some cardio, some strength training. So it's never just enough to just walk. I hear a lot of people say, well, I walk, so that's good enough. It's not, though. I mean, it's not. Saving $1 a day is not going to get you far. It might get you to where you can like go out to dinner once a month on that, but you're not going to make a retirement saving on $1 a day. Let's save $100 a day, right? Got the analogy? So having a realistic mindset of a chronic pain is imperative. If you've dealt with chronic pain, get on a smart exercise program, have a practitioner you trust to help you through the tough parts, have a trainer who helps you through understanding how to modify, and then make progress. And just know you're heading towards here, and along the way, it's going to have ugly days and good days. That's just the norm, okay? So how do we fix strength and mobility? Well, the good news is next week I'm going to go through and talk to you about the top 3 pain symptoms I see most people deal with, and that is knee pain, low back pain, and neck or shoulder pain. And I'm going to talk to you about how I take it with clients who I've worked with and modify, and what kind of questions you're looking to fix, what kind of immobility problems you're trying to fix, and what kind of strength problems you're trying to fix, because that's really what we're talking about. How do we make your body function better so that you increase mobility, meaning I can move the ways I'm supposed to move. If you can't squat down, if you can't climb steps correctly without doing funky things, if you can't put luggage up overhead into a rack, if you can't pick something up off the ground without pain and problems, that's a telltale sign we got strength and mobility problems. So we got to assess that for you. And I'm going to show you how to do some treatments, some better warm-ups, and how to modify your strength training so that you can create a healthier, stronger body. So it's a great way to think about it. This is not going to supersede your work with a person like a practitioner who can help you through it if you have a higher level of pain. Pain isn't all made equal. If it's just I have an ache here that bugs me, I can probably help you with that. I have a excruciating like sharp pain, we probably need to refer out and have somebody else look at it also, right? So we'll talk to you next week about how I help people modify around their low back pain or their shoulder pain or their neck pain so that they can continue to make constant, steady progress on building a better body, burning fat, building musculature, building bone density, while not making the pain worse, because that's super important. I don't want you to think I'm saying, hey, if your knees hurt, I don't care, we're going to jump anyway and do lunges. I don't care if they hurt. No, that's definitely not where I'm going. That's sort of the macho mentality. I don't want you to have to be subject to suffering through it. I want to talk about, one of the pieces. Let's talk about a client. So I had a client come in, and he has had chronic pain his entire life with low back pain, with blowouts, 2 to 4 week blowouts where he really injured his spine. And this is for 10 to 20 years, right? And he wasn't working out because of it. So when he started with me, what we found was what I expected is he couldn't squat. He couldn't swing well because his hips, he didn't know how to move from his hips, which if you don't know, that's a super important thing to do, right? Imagine picking up furniture with your legs, not your spine. Okay, that's what we're talking about when I say move from your hips. You pick up with your legs. So he could move from his hips correctly, couldn't squat correctly, and he had a very, very tight thoracic spine. Thoracic is everything a rib is attached to. So think the base of your neck to where your kidneys are, right? From there to there, it's 12 of them. And we sit down all day, and we get locked in that position, usually arched the wrong way, and our spine wants to just go, oh, that's where I live. And so if you don't have that pliability where you can move that thoracic spine, most of the time, that's a big player in upper and lower back, neck and low back problems, okay? So I'm giving some tips right there as work on thoracic spine mobility. We'll talk about that next week. What does that look like? But we fixed his strength and mobility problems. We fixed his thoracic. We strengthened his core because, duh, if you have a spine problem, numero uno is fix that core. We taught him how to move from his hips. Then as he got safer, and he had more confidence, like, hey, I think this is going to work for my body. I don't feel like I'm going to injure myself. Because normally he'd be like, pick up groceries, pick up anything, bend over. I'm going to hurt my back. Now, I mean, he literally would say in grocery stores, he would turn and, like it hurt. Now we got confidence in him because we got more mobility, we got more strength. He started feeling better. Then we do kettlebell swings, we start doing squats, we start getting him stronger. And now, a year later, I never even hear him talk about his back anymore. He's doing awesome. He's kicking butt. He's stronger. He moves great. He doesn't have the problem. Bam. We didn't just say if your back hurts, don't do it. Because that is stupid, right? I hope I've convinced you of that so far. If your back hurts, don't do it is the way to never get better, okay? Well, if you got your heart broken, don't date anymore. It might happen again. So that's what I want to do for you all next week. We'll talk through this. I hope this has been helpful for you all. Next week, I'm going to talk to you about how to fix your strength and mobility problems, how to modify. We're going to specifically break into parts of low back, neck, and shoulder. I look forward to helping you with that. Yesterday, I launched an awesome online challenge for you all. It's 10 days. It is called the Lift Like a Woman Challenge on International Women's Day, nonetheless. That's when we started it. We are loading up members for that right now. I would love to have you in there. It's free. It's all YouTube videos. It's a blast. You're going to love it. I'm going to teach you the core ground up kettlebell drills, core drills, all the strength moves you need to do to firm up, get stronger, burn fat like a champ. I would love to have you in there. Lift Like a Woman Challenge. I'll put the link in the comments in the section below. Go ahead and click on that. We'd love to have you in there. You do it right from home with just 1 to 3 kettlebells. Even if if you have dumbbells at home, you could just have 1 swing weight and 2 dumbbells. That would be fine too. So look forward to having you in there. If you have any comments, questions that you want answered, make sure you leave them in the section below. And as always, subscribe to my channel, 39-minute workout with David. This is tips from the truck coming to you from my favorite place to drop some knowledge on you around strength, fitness, and all things health. And I will see you next time. Thanks so much.